This is the all-new 2014 Toyota Corolla. They're holding the launch of this vehicle in beautiful Quebec City. Now, Toyota is making it perfectly clear they have great ambitions for this new Corolla. They want it to succeed to the point that it becomes the best-selling passenger vehicle in Canada, bumping out the Honda Civic and the Elantra, which are currently number 1 and 2. Now, what are they doing to try and achieve that? First and foremost, styling. Toyota has definitely been criticized for having a boring-looking car in the past. They've gone to town on the exterior, and I think it looks fantastic, especially with this S model. You got the deeper front spoiler, aggressive-looking headlights that are now LED, not just accent lights. The beams themselves, the projectors are actually LED. The roof line is lower, the car is wider, and the wheelbase has been stretched by 10 full centimeters, which gains you all kinds of advantages on the inside. Not only that, there's 7 different trim levels to choose from, 2 engines, and 3 transmissions. So let's have a look at this new Corolla. Now, there have been some changes to the Corolla and some carryovers. Let's do the carryover first, the engine. Most of the Corollas are equipped with the same 1.8-liter 4-cylinder engine that was found in the previous car, and also that 4-speed automatic transmission that was found in the previous car is carried over, but only to the base model. So the engine for the most part is the same. There's one change though, and that's the Eco model, the LE Eco. It gets an 8 horsepower bump to 140 horsepower, and that's achieved by a different valve system on the intake valve. They can actually lengthen the amount the valve opens, or they can actually shut it down, and what that does is give you a bump in fuel economy, and it also gives you a bump in horsepower. So that's good. That's the LE Eco. Now, the biggest change you'll notice for anybody looking at a Corolla is this car is now equipped on most of the models, except for the base, as I mentioned, with a continuously variable transmission. It gives you a wide range of gears, and when you get it with this sport model I'm driving, you actually can hit a button and it mimics 7 shift points. So when you're driving along and you want to kick down and pass, it'll go down a gear or 2, or virtual gears, and that gives you a more normal automatic transmission feel. Now, continuously variable transmissions do take a while to get used to, but the upside is much greater efficiency. So that's the trade-off, that they're trying to achieve greater efficiency and still make the car drivable. Last piece of the puzzle is the longer wheelbase. By stretching the wheelbase by 10 centimeters, you get a much roomier interior, but you also get a more compliant ride. That's why luxury cars have long wheelbases. When you do that, it really smooths things out. So when you combine that long wheelbase with the smooth, continuously variable transmission, it provides a much more sophisticated feeling Corolla. The electric power steering is a little bit light, but I'm sure the people that buy this car for everyday commuting probably find it relaxing. And it kind of goes to the whole way this car feels now. Smooth transmission, smooth suspension, and more sophisticated, I guess, is the best way to describe this new car. Even though they've lowered the roofline of the Corolla, they've compensated by lowering the seating position and dropping the steering wheel, which gives it a more driver-oriented feel in here. When you look at this cabin, it looks much better than the Corolla of past. It's got soft touch materials on the dash. You notice on the middle LE trim in the S model we're in here, you get the 6.1-inch screen. That gives you a backup camera as well. Now, the base model is called CE, but it does come nicely equipped with Bluetooth streaming audio, radio controls on the steering wheel, and a USB port to plug in your own music or an iPod. Overall dimensions have been improved in the back seat, especially when you add 10 centimeters to the wheelbase. You get much bigger back doors and more legroom. Seating is definitely comfortable because a lot of people use the Corolla as an all-around family vehicle, maybe one car for the entire family. The other thing is the materials and the finish in here, much improved. I like the piano black. Unfortunately, it can show a bit of dust and scratch in the future, but it does look good, at least initially. They've got all new faux leather seats in this top model. Prices start at $15,995 for the base CE, and the fully equipped one that we're in here, the S model, is just over $24,000. So there's a Corolla out there. There's more trim levels than ever, 7 full different trim levels to choose from, so you can pick and choose exactly what you want. Toyota has to hit a whole bunch of goals in order to become the best-selling car in Canada. First and foremost, the styling. If you want to get a broader spectrum of people to look at this car, it has to look good, and definitely the best-looking Corolla to date. Low lower, wider, longer. The long wheelbase definitely helps with ride. It's smoother, yet still has some feedback. There's engine choices now, the continuously variable transmission. A lot of people aren't sold on the technology, but it does deliver greater fuel efficiency. So they've hit a lot of their targets. Time will tell if you're going to go out and buy this vehicle, but it definitely is a step in the right direction.